Yo, we got Barnesy in there right now for the
Yes,
ninth.
sir.
All right, it's first real save chance of the season, so it's good to see him get it.
He's dealing too.
He's been electric all year. 2-run lead. It's good to see Devers get another jack, 5th in 4 games now, dude. He's heating up. He's leading the league, tie for the league now.
I missed the runs. I went to get Finley, so I missed how they scored.
I forgot. I missed 2. I turned it on late. I was at lunch, but they started terrible. Perez looked awful in the first inning. It was snowing there.
Well, I watched the first. He looked okay. The defense didn't do him any fucking favor. They had a couple slow rolling double plays that they didn't turn, and then I don't know if you saw the play Arroyo bounced off the second base.
I missed that, but so I know like what
sent the man to third.
Buxton
Roberts had a bad error.
Yeah,
the first pitch of the game was a hit.
Yeah, Buxton's on fucking fire. I don't understand. They lost Nelson Cruz today too. He was a late scratch for non-COVID like symptoms, like he's sick, and they're keep putting Buxton up first. Like he's on fucking fire.
Their first 3 hitters in the lineup are on fucking fire. I thought Martin Perez.
He settled down to give up only 2 runs.
He looked like Martin Perez.
Yeah, that's just what you expect out of Perez. I mean,
85 low in the zone. He's gonna get contact if it lands, it lands, and hopefully your defense doesn't suck.
3-4 runs.
But 2 runs. I mean, 2 earned through 9 for the pitching staff.
Yeah, you expect low scoring right now. I mean, like I said, I think the start time was 33, and they said that the high would be like 36.
Yeah, it was still pretty good in there in the first. I'll do it.
Is that the third one?
Yep.
All right, 7 in a row, baby.
Suck it, Ray. How you doing?
Suck it, Ray, baby. Suck it.
I have 2 questions for both of you. One, what time's the poetry reading tonight, Richard?
Which one?
Well, whatever.
For me?
Yeah.
Because of my black shirt?
Yes.
This is the time of year it's very frustrating for me. In the morning, I shut my heat off. I pulled the fucking trash can, shut my heat off. Also because my daughter is now in my ex podcast studio, which
was the sweat studio.
It was the sweat box of America.
Yeah.
It's 60 outside and it's 95 in there. So we're trying to regulate that room. Anyway, long story short, I sleep naked. So I wake up cold.
Well done. I do the same.
Yep.
Gotta let them dick and balls breathe.
No, because there's a point during the night where I sweat, like out my booze and stuff. So I don't like wasting clothes. I only have 6 pair of underwear. So in the morning, I get cold and I this was a shirt and I had a sweatshirt on all day. Yep. And then during the day it warms up and I just haven't taken the shirt off. So that's my explanation for my slam poetry shirt.
I mean, I'm in a fucking hoodie. I'm in the same boat here. I haven't had the heat on in weeks.
Second question.
Gets about 55 in here at night, so it gets a little chilly.
And this will determine how the show goes for the here on out. What's your plans tonight, Bill?
What's my plans tonight? Why?
I'm just asking.
A couple things to do later on.
Like what?
Fucking salty.
Why? Why are you so salty?
Fucking the Queen's time is getting ridiculous.
I have dinner plans. Usually we start at 5:30 on Tuesdays. God forbid.
Oh, wait till you go back to work. Wait till you go back to work. We're starting at 7:30.
All right. When you date a divorcee, I like dating divorcees. They got a couple kids. Sometimes they have kid-free nights during the week, and you fit in a little date time. Okay, that's what I'm doing later.
Here's where I come from. Obvious one. We know the Queen's a cunt. I don't need you being a reverse cunt. That just makes my goddamn
I had
life.
Stuff to do.
You fucking clearly were, based on this conversation alone. I don't need reverse cunt. Be the bigger man. We can only afford one queen.
Never.
Have you ever seen Game of Thrones? The fucking place burns to the ground with 2 queens.
I will burn this to the ground. Give me that dragon
Just
fire.
fucking relax, Khaleesi. It'll be fine. Welcome to the Silver Mind Sports Show, Wednesday edition, April 14th. Suck it, Ray. Got that right. Knew it.
Ray.
And, God, off to a rip-roaring start. Go Sock. Welcome to the show. Fucking salt monster. Jesus. You're like
salt.
Like a bag of goddamn salt and vinegar chips today, Ray.
Ooh, I like salt and vinegar chips.
Boyhood crush just retired. What do you expect?
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Before we get to that, my boyhood crush is in Nashua, New Hampshire, by the name of White Birch Brewing, because I'm an alcoholic. The beers down there are fantastic. They got sours, they got IPAs, they got Berliner Weisses, as we found out in our last Are You Smarter Than a Trash Can show. Tune in for that coming soon. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
460 Amherst Street is where you can go get some flights, some pints, some merch, some gear. And if you don't get it there, find it at your local beer establishment. Wherever you get it, tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing. Ray, condolences.
Thank you guys.
Condolences. We had the news, the breaking news on one of the I guess last night we did the NHL special edition NHL show. If you haven't listened to that yet, folks, it's pretty good stuff there. Hockey Guy Ray brings the heat. But we did get the breaking news last night. Haven't had a real chance to talk about it. So Julian Edelman officially retires. Patriots did him well. He's going to get basically $4 million for retiring, based on some contractual clauses between failing a physical test and them not cutting him before that, yada, yada, yada. If anyone wants to go into that, feel free. I just want to know, look, he's an all-time Patriot. Roughly, we don't have to go deep. Where does he rank on your list in terms of special achievements, all-time rank, how important he was to the franchise? Just give me your 30-second to a minute Edelman obituary, if you would.
I think he's the second best wide receiver that the Patriots have ever seen.
Who's the first?
Randy Moss.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, a flying squirrel. I think he was Tom Brady's Robin. He was always riding his coattails, going to the Kentucky Derby. They were best friends, always together. Sad. They're all gone now. I mean, since 2014, I think McCourty, Hightower, and Bolden and James White are the only ones left from that Super Bowl run. So, I mean, it's sad. They're all going. It's a new era.
Are you sad, Ray?
A little bit.
I don't give a fuck, but go ahead, Bill.
I put him as far. I mean, he's top 3 at Patriot wide receivers, but I think he's bottom third of the top 10 for Patriots greats of all time. If you think about it, he really only had 5.5 seasons. 2013, 2019, really. 2015, he broke his foot. That was his production years. I mean, it's hard to rank him in the top 5. I think he was very important to this dynasty, but I would put a lot more, especially the earlier guys on the early dynasties on defense, a lot more than I would. And I'd even put Troy Brown over him and a couple other guys. Deion Branch was just as pivotal winning those early Super Bowls and Julian Edelman was. And I know Julian Edelman kind of came up in huge games, but don't forget, he's always had some big drops in those big games too. But yeah, when the game was on the line, he was there. I've had him on my overrated list a little bit for the Hall of Fame talk because in my opinion, he's not a Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't think getting his, postseason numbers in there, but yeah, I put him 9 or 10 on the Patriots all-time top 10.
Yeah, he's got to be in there just because I think the way he carried himself. I mean, 7th round pick as a quarterback, made his way into the system, was Wes Welker after Wes Welker. I think he eclipsed Wes Welker. Actually, he certainly eclipsed Wes Welker. For the postseason production. Super Bowl MVP. I put Deion Branch above him as all-time Patriots wide receivers. He was just better. Troy Brown probably for the nostalgia factor, but I think him and Edelman are really, really relatable in terms of their numbers aren't. Edelman had fucking awesome numbers for the years that you mentioned, Bill, but that's really a product of Brady in the system.
I think so.
I mean, he turned himself into a fantastic wide receiver. What was his best year?
2013, he had 105 catches. That was the first year he was like a starter. Amendola broke his foot game 1, and that's when he came in at 105.
But wasn't it like 7? What year was it that? He was ranked like number 2 in the NFL by many people.
He had 105.
He had climbed the ranks.
He had, I think, 101. Even he sat out four games in 2018. Remember, he only played 12 there for the PED suspension, had like 75 catches, and then won the MVP. So, I mean, dude, you want to talk about the prototypical Patriot? He fucking killed himself.
Yeah, he was an all-time
Chancellor hit that he got in the Super Bowl. He should have been out because he got fucking knocked the fuck out.
Right, that KC game we were out after he came back from the broken foot, where he's like, yeah, I'm just going to go until it goes.
Yeah.
7 catches for 101 yards. They come in and they win that game. And then he was a shell of himself in Denver the next week in the AFC Championship game. But, and to his credit, they were out of the playoffs late in December, and this motherfucker's trying to get back on the field. Yeah. And he couldn't do it anymore. He's a baller. And
that was the saddest thing to hear. But he's like, I said I'd do it till the wheels fell off. Well, guess what? The wheels fell off. I
mean, you
can't do
just
what it
look at
was.
what
That was sad to see. I mean, I don't care who you are. That's sad.
the last 2 seasons. Look at 2019. He started off with a fucking bang. Then by week 7, week 8, couldn't lift his head above his shoulder, or his hands above his shoulders, anything like that, because he had the shoulder injury, the knee injury. It just sucks to see a guy like that go out. But what do you expect? He's 5'9". He's not built
Average.
He's not built like a running back or any of these big guys. And you're a slot receiver. Yeah, he probably redefined him and Welker, kind of really redefined the slot receiver position in the NFL going now. But I mean, it
Yeah,
sucks to let him go. He's one of my favorites, but I mean,
I don't think that he has anything to hold. And when I say I don't give a shit. It's not that I don't give a shit about Edelman. I think he was great. I just, going into the season, I did not expect anything from him. And I think he can walk out with his head high. That, my wheels fell off. That's a tough way to go because of injury, but it's not like he went out with a bad injury at 28. The dude's 35.
Yeah,
he's an MVP, 3-time MVP champion, an MVP, Super Bowl MVP. Had some of the best years as a wide receiver in those years as in his career. Yeah, I mean, he's fine. Don't worry about Julian Edelman. He'll be fine. Will the Patriots be fine? I don't think a lot of people expected Julian Edelman to give them a lot, but if there was hope that he was coming back, he was slotting in at like 3rd or 4th in the depth chart in terms of how they're going to use him, which would have been a nice little role for him to keep his snaps down. Obviously, that's gone now. To the Patriots wide receiver core with Nelson Aguilar, the Bourne kid from San Francisco, Jacoby Myers, and N'Keal Harry. Those are basically your wide receivers. Do they have enough, or do they got to get another body there?
Another body. And it sucks to say you're going to have to do it in the draft because we know how Bill drafts fucking wide receivers, N'Keal Harry, Exhibit A. I mean, he doesn't do a great job, so they need another role player in there. Even if they can get a veteran guy to come in right now, but they need another body. It's always a depth issue. One of these guys is going to get hurt. Who you have now? You can't just start throwing, Gronk's not here anymore. I mean, you got Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, but still, I mean, you need these wide receivers to get these other guys open.
Yeah, and I was saying the same thing even before Edelman gone.
Yeah.
I never expected him to be back this year. Truthfully, I mean, then the reports came out he probably wouldn't be. So, I mean, even before him going out, I never expected him to be there. You need to add some kind of depth there. I don't expect N'Keal Harry to do anything, truthfully, and especially with Cam Newton. You're going to rely heavy on the tight ends, but you still need depth there. I mean, Jacoby Myers looked great last year, but who's going to slide into that slot? I don't think Bourne's a natural slot receiver. And
they're saying Myers.
Now, yeah, Myers is the guy, but I mean, I don't think he's your prototypical slot guy in a Patriots offense. That's for sure. I mean, I wouldn't bet I would bet they get a 6th, 7th round, slot receiver that out of some small school that they can kind of mold a la Danny Amendola. I know they didn't draft him, but somewhere in that range, even undrafted guy. Look at Gunnar Olszewski, another undrafted guy that, has played slot minutes too. So I mean, they can.
He's there. Who was the other kid that flashed a couple times last season? That was just a nobody. Starts with a J, J-Do or something.
The undrafted. Yeah, they gave him a couple of fucking like end arounds.
He's fast as shit.
Yeah.
They might draft a guy. If they're going to draft a guy, here's what I'd like to see: trade N'Keal Harry and draft another guy, or draft 2 guys. But I don't think they're going to do it. Marquise Lee is still not signed. Jermaine Bird is still not signed. There's some guys poking around in the league that have either been in the system or know the system that they'll drag some veteran in here for depth and see what they can do. In terms of being productive, not counting injuries, I think they're fine because they're especially who's throwing the ball. Especially if it's Cam Newton, you're good at wide receiver because it doesn't matter. They're not getting the fucking ball anyway. But between Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, and your running backs, you basically need 2 healthy bodies at wide receiver to keep the cornerbacks, honest, essentially. That's kind of it. If Cam Newton is there, they're not running the Patriots offense. Even if a rookie's there, it's so the quarterback is such a question mark. But regardless, with those 2 tight ends, I don't see a lot of 3 wide receiver sets coming from the Patriots this season. So, yeah, if one of those guys goes down, you're kind of fucked. So you need a depth piece. But I think your starters are set in stone, and you're not going to see any surprises there.
No, but you're going to miss the biggest thing you're going to miss is Julian Edelman. 738 catches in the regular season, 454 for first downs. That's over 50% of his catches right there moving the sticks. That's where you're going to see him. I mean, if you could have came back and played, 8 or 10 snaps a game for 16 games trying to manage in that knee, 8 or 10 third down snaps, I mean, that's where you're going to miss him most because he just knows where to get first downs. He knows where the sticks are. You hope the young wide receivers kind of have that mold. And even his leadership, he was never voted captain. I think he was voted captain before he tore his ACL against Detroit. But other than that, he was never a captain on this team. And he was one of the most vocal leaders on this team. I think you're going to miss that too because you missed a lot
Why
of
do you
leadership
think that?
within.
Do you think he's just kind of a
know.
dink? Think he had a little
Well,
Brady stink
They
on
all
him at
make
the end?
no, they all make fun of
Zolak
him all the time. Yeah, I heard that today too.
Zolak had a good thing on it, whereas like Brady kind of used him a lot more. You saw, some of the big games you see Brady running up the sidelines, motivating the team. But later on in the career, when Julian was there, he was kind of sitting on the bench and kind of conserving energy, as Zolak would say, and just saying, "Hey, go rile up the troops. This is what we need." But then you look at Atlanta Super Bowl, you look at Seattle Super Bowl. That's Brady running up and down the field. So I mean, I think later on that he was the kind of the sounding board a little bit as a leadership, and I just think he kind of missed out. I mean, you look at David Andrews got one, James White has got one, and those guys kind of deserve the two. But for Edelman not to be voted a captain is kind of a shame. I mean, never a Pro Bowl player either, even as a returner. It's kind of, at one point in time, he was number one career punt return yardage or average. So,
yeah. Well, sad to see him go, Ray, but time to move on. And we're not, that's all Patriots. I mean, there's some more Patriots talk. The Justin Fields rumors are flying around.
10th.
I don't want to get into it today because I think we could spend all show on it. Maybe we'll get into it on Friday or something. But let's keep an eye on it. We'll be heavy Patriots here for the next weeks coming up with the draft just around the corner. So for now, let's shift our focus to the debut of your new second line left wing, Taylor Hall.
Or what? I didn't hear that part. What?
Second line left wing. They play left wing.
Oh, okay.
Taylor Hall debuting.
We said he would play dummy.
Oh, who's on the right wing? I didn't
Yeah.
hear that part.
If you're gonna fucking toot, at least do it correctly.
Jesus.
You salty bitch. At least let me put the lines in place. All I said was Taylor Hall was starting for the Bruins. It's nothing to do with Pasternak yet. Just wait your turn.
Okay,
hockey
I'm
guy,
sorry.
Ray.
I'm sorry.
As a matter of fact,
Mute.
timeout. You get muted. There you go. Taylor Hall is debuting for the Bruins tonight against his old team. And no one else is debuting. And this is all going under the radar because Taylor Hall is such a big name. Everybody the Bruins trade for is playing tonight.
No, Lazar's not. He's out.
No, they're saying he's playing.
No,
Playing
he was on the ice tonight or this morning.
Mhm.
He's been battling injury, and everything I heard earlier today, he wasn't playing. So if he got upgraded, that's awesome. That's good news.
Bill, he was on the ice this morning. McAvoy was on the ice this morning. Tuca was on the ice this morning. He's not playing, but
How does hockey guy Bill not know this?
all those guys are
because
playing.
everything they said, I heard it this morning when they were fucking talking to Bruce. He wasn't going to play just because he's on the ice. He's battling a fucking lower body injury. He's skating, but
I texted you the lines earlier.
He didn't have time to read the
I
text.
read them. I'm just saying what I heard
you,
this
Bill.
morning was he wasn't going to play. That's all I'm saying. That's all I heard.
Regardless, it's not about Lazar and his ice hamburgers. Even though it is kind of cool. I mean, it's good that the Riley kid's playing. I mean, you have no
Yeah.
defenseman. I think McAvoy has a game time decision, which, I had this in the email. We haven't talked about it a lot, but that's fucking awesome news. I mean, if McAvoy is going to miss any more time, shit, you can't take any more 8-1 losses. So
What
I
was
don't
the guy? Anseth and Tenardi just
Doesn't
gave
matter.
like 4 goals. That's like Jesus Christ. Get this. That was your number one pairing against Washington.
yeah,
Later had 0 chance.
Yeah, I'm
You said
surprised that
that.
kid.
Sorry, kid.
Yeah, that kid. Poor guy. Poor
Swayman
guy.
in net tonight though, so we'll see. Hopefully you get McAvoy back.
Yep,
Yeah.
Swayman's in net. A lot of, as you would expect, a lot of good talk after the first time Taylor Hall got on the ice with these guys. Krejci came out and said something like, full package. This guy's got it all. Hags was reporting on the practice like he does. What a fucking job. That guy's at every single morning skate tweeting every 30 seconds.
It's insane.
My goddamn Twitter between him, Ty Anderson, and Fluto, it's like,
Ty Anderson doesn't sleep though. That's the sad part. He's up at like
Oh,
1 a.m. fucking tweeting.
God, man, these hockey guys are insane.
Yeah.
So anyway, Taylor Hall really heavy on his left side, strong side on the boards here, looking pretty good early in practice and morning skate. All right, Hags, whatever. Like
It's a
cool.
morning fucking skate, dude. They're not even doing anything. They're fucking skating around the ice. Shut out of here.
But that's good. Krejci had good words, for his new line mate here. Hey, here's a good question. What needs to happen for this to go sour very quickly? Outside
Taylor
of an
Hall not
injury.
scoring goals.
yeah.
Taylor, I mean, doing what Anders Bork just did.
Hey, don't fucking torpedo the show, Bill. We got like 15 more. Give me something to work with.
No,
Not
if he
scoring
starts
goals
becoming
is too easy.
if he starts becoming a cancer in the locker room and starting dividing the locker room up, like
Starts fucking players' wives, teammates' wives.
well, I didn't want to go that far, but
All viable answers.
No, but I mean, scoring has to be it. You're one of the bottom 3 ranked 5-on-5 scoring teams. Like, you brought this guy in to score some goals or add some offense to this team. And if you're not doing it, it's going to go sour quick because you didn't get better then. The only thing you're going to get better is on a defense, really, because Riley is your biggest need at this point outside of the second line guy. But if you're not getting a motivated Taylor Hall coming in, you're going to lose that trade. I mean, Lazar is going to be what he is, a fourth line guy. Kind of, you can move him up and down the line if you really need to. But
Riley's a scorer, right? Riley can score.
He's a good offensive, defensive guy. He's a
almost like a crew kind of guy.
But bigger.
He's good. He's gonna. I think.
Yeah.
All the talk is that he is sneaky. Going to be a really important player for them, and probably worth more than the 3rd round pick that they paid for him if he hits his potential.
Getting the puck out of the zone too. You see the breaks. He can get it up the ice quick. You got some burners on his team now. Getting Hall, Pasternak, even Craig Smith, Charlie Coyle. Those guys can fly up and down the ice. Now you can get another defensive guy that's kind of offensive minded and get the puck out of his own zone and through the neutral zone quick. That's kind of what they're needing.
Yeah, you got Kevin Millar back tonight too, so you got a steadying force on the 3rd line. I think they're going to put him with Lauzon. So you got a couple defensemen back there to hold things down if you need them. What's funny about Boston sports and Boston media is the reason I ask the question is like the next game, maybe 2, will decide how everyone thinks about Taylor Hall for the rest of the season.
Dude, touching Rich had him scoring 2 goals tonight. I'm like, okay.
If he scores 2 goals tonight, it's the greatest trade in hockey history. Sign him for 6 years, 10 mil apiece. This guy's the next Bergeron. If they go 2 goals and if they go 2 nights and look like shit, fuck Taylor Hall. He's
Get him out of here.
Fucking everyone's wife.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. He's the reason they're not going to win. Like, that's just how it's going to go. It doesn't really, and it'll take a lot to build their way back up, regardless of.
Well, at least they're going against Buffalo, though. I mean, Buffalo's the laughing stock of the league, so this get your confidence back up. You know this team. You play with them all season, so there you go.
6 out of 17 games left against Buffalo, including 3 straight next week. You're going to be in Buffalo because now you're getting all the COVID games when they had their pandemic. They're all coming back to roost now. So you got fucking 5 games in the next 2 weeks against Buffalo. You
should clean up. It's just too bad they were so bad that I doubt Lazar or Taylor have anything to prove to them. They probably feel bad still that they left them. Like, sorry, man, I had to get the fuck out of here. Like,
Lazar was spouting out a little bit too, saying like, he's going to bring it to him or something. It was friendly jabber, but it was like
probably because he sucks and they kept him on the 3rd line and he's all pissed off about it.
Probably
the Bruins will bench him after the first game. All right. Swayman gets the start. Tuca's expected back Thursday. What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Quest still on.
It's nice. Like, Bruce came out today and said they've been, purposely holding him back. They're trying not to rush him back with his back. I'm all for it. I mean, he's your most important goalie.
I'd hold him out to the fucking playoffs. I hold him out to 3 games before the playoffs. Give him a 3-game preseason to get his legs underneath him, and then let him go in the playoffs.
Kevin Miller too. You've seen him kind of get some healthy scratches now with that knee, so they're going to really rest him up into the playoffs. And games like this, 1 game here, 1 game there, I think that's where you're going to see Kevin Miller too. And I would do the same thing with Rask. Get him a start on Thursday, and if he looks decent, I'd mix him in every 3rd or 4th game until the playoffs, and then unleash him in the playoffs because that's the most important guy. I mean, he's your best goalie, and especially if you start scoring now. I mean, if you get a lockdown goalie, maybe he's engaged, maybe he's not. Who knows? But I mean, he's still your best option at this moment.
Who gets sacrificed? Like, if they want to do this round robin goalie thing with question marks with Halak COVID, Tuca injury, no one keeps 4 goalies on the roster. So
young kids go down.
I know, but I don't want to do it. Like, I'm riding Swayman. and you're not going to drop Vladar down. That's going to absolutely
doesn't look bad. Why would
him.
why would you drop him down?
It's like you have to fake
fake
an injury for Halak for the rest of the season.
Swayman
basically,
would be the odd man out because they've kept Vladar up here the majority of the season, especially with Raskit's injury. But you don't want to keep Swayman up here if he's not going to play. You want him to get him down and get some more professional games. Again, he's played, 16?
I understand that. I don't like your approach with Swayman, by the way.
Neither.
Way too conservative.
Think about your butthole.
I don't want to
Think about your butthole, Bill.
Ruin him. He's been their best fucking goalie the last month.
Yeah, but I just I feel like it's super early to think about trying to ride him into the playoffs.
That's that Strasburg mentality. I told you about this in shows prior. And that's set Strasburg, and it took him 7 years to get back to the promised land. Just if you got a hot guy, ride him. You never know. You never know. Let's talk Red Sox. The Red Sox got the win. We just saw that in the cold open. 7 straight, baby. 7 straight for the Sox. Obviously, so they're going to do a doubleheader today, as this is released, because the game was postponed on Monday due to the protests in Minneapolis, which they canceled all of the sporting events there. This is from the Twins ownership. We don't have to do too much on this, but we should touch on it. Quote from Minnesota Twins ownership, I believe. Out of respect for the tragic events that occurred yesterday in Brooklyn Center, the following additional details in this evolving situation, the Minnesota Twins have decided it is best interest for our fans, staff, players, and community not to play today's game. The decision was made by the Twins after the consultation with Major League Baseball, local state officials, information regarding the rescheduling of today's game, corresponding tickets, blah, 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 blah. Minnesota Twins organization extends its sympathies to Dante Wright. The makeup game has no dates, but we know that that's going to be today. And then this was this morning, so they didn't figure out how they're going to do the 4-game series, but now everything's rescheduled and good to go. I just had questions about how the Red Sox were going to deal with it. So this was Cora's quote when they asked him how they were dealing with it. He said, quote, "We're in the hotel waiting to hear from MLB and the Twins to see what's next as far as the series," Alex Cora said. "We don't have too many details." They essentially canceled this game 5 minutes before first pitch.
Yeah, and they kind of put it out as like the Red Sox kind of, they agreed to it, and I think it's Major League Baseball kind of stepped in because.
Well, that's what I was looking for in those statements, and the Red Sox never came up in terms of who was talked to. It was just the Twins decided, which I don't really have a problem with at all. My angle was, how are the Red Sox going to respond? Because the 2019-2020 gutless Red Sox would have used this as an excuse to drop 7 straight and go into a fucking hole and have their precious little schedule fucked up. I want to know if 2021 Red Sox are different. And in a somewhat blizzard today, they came out with a win. So I guess the answer is yes, they're a different team.
Gritty win. Bats were cold, obviously, with the weather, but the pitching, Martin Perez, like I said before, he kind of looked like shit early, came back in the bullpen, fucking lights out. That's a way to answer after you get it coming back. You think a rain out or, a riot out is what I guess you'd want to kind of call it.
Riot out.
Good,
good
you
band
think
name.
it could kind of, it could ruin some momentum, but here we go. Devers hit his 5th home run in 4 games. That's the biggest one for me because I think JD, you saw him sat out with the COVID, came back at 3 jacks against Baltimore. I think you saw 4 home runs against Baltimore for Devers, and then he comes out and hits an insurance home run today when they're up 3-2 in the 9th, I believe he hit it. So that's good to see. I mean, that's a good answer, especially a young kid who's had questionable hitting and defense since he's came in the league. And now he's kind of finding it, and having that 1-game absence didn't really knock him off too much. So, I mean, it's definitely a little different.
It shows, too, that Ron Redicky really didn't have a grip on this team last year.
Dude,
I mean, this is almost the exact same roster that they had last year, and look how it's night and day that they're playing right now.
Yeah, he got thrown into the fire quick. I mean, he's.
Oh, of course, with Cora getting, released.
There's no one else. There's no one else you could really get at the time.
But you could tell that the players didn't want to rally around this guy. They just didn't give a fuck. They just went through the motions last year, collected their checks, and said, "See ya."
COVID hit too.
2020 was an absolute joke. So let me phrase it this way, and then we'll move on. Is 2021 and the way that they're playing, and let's give them credit for today. It's not that big a deal, but like I said, if it was last year or the year before, they would have lost this game 9-2.
Yeah.
Especially J.A. Happ, 13-4 career against the Red Sox with like a 2.5 ERA. We had 22 pitches, I think, in the first inning. All 3 guys went to 3-2 counts.
Yeah, Kiki went like 10 pitches in the first at bat,
and then just fucking hit a shitty.
Yeah. So is 2021 and the way they're responding, is it more Ron Renicky not being there, or do we have to give a lot of credit to Alex Cora?
Alex Cora. He's a player's coach, a player's manager. You see the relationship he has with all the players. The whole bilingual thing is really a big thing because everyone's talking about it, how he can really get with the Spanish or Dominican guys. He can talk to them and communicate, and he has a good rapport. He's young. He's been there. He's done it before. He's been a player, so he knows how to do it. So, yeah, I think it's the whole having Alex Cora back has really turned this team around.
I think it helps, but I think it's also just COVID. I just think the team kind of knew going in. You just traded Mookie Betts. You got Alex Cora gone. Renicky comes in. You trade Mookie Betts basically right before spring training, and then spring training just pauses. They knew. Red Sox knew they weren't going to be a good team. Those young guys fucking knew it. Look at JD Martinez, bitched about not having video all year. He had a bad 2 months, but I think the fact that you got a regular spring training in, you're playing regular games now. Nothing's really affected by COVID except for the protocol if you get sick or all that shit. But they haven't lost any COVID games yet, and I just think that has a big part of it because now you're back to your routine. Cramming 60 games in 80 days or 70
Yeah, something stupid like that. Yeah.
You're getting off days. I get it. It's the beginning of the season. They always build in off days, but I just think the consistency in the getting back to normal. You're getting fans in the stands now. Yeah, it might be 5,000 or 6,000, but you're still getting live fans there. So I think that
makes a
is
difference.
Familiarity,
bigger difference than Cora. And I can't anoint Cora yet because it's been 10 fucking games.
Yeah.
If they're still playing this in June, then I'm going to say, okay, this is the Alex Cora effect. But 10 games in, I think a lot has to do with one, competition, and two, the fucking back to normalcy without the COVID.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And just came to, I'm not going to ask the question yet, but the Red Sox are on the cups of changing expectations. You get off to a hot start, you're not going to win the World Series, but I mean, we were looking for them to battle for, or just to not miss the playoffs. $200 million payroll. You're hitting like this, you're playing like this. We might have to change expectations. Let's keep an eye on it. Not there yet. Speaking of expectations, hot passport.
Close,
hot
Rich.
Passport. Ray, do you have your hot passport?
No, but you do.
Okay. Ray has had this now for, I don't know, 2 weeks.
I knew you had it, so I didn't bring it up.
I'm still waiting for mine.
This is the.
You can come to my house and get it, bitch tits.
I'm only 250 miles away. I got mine before you. What are you, 11? This is the hot passport. It actually looks like a real hot passport. Bill, this is what you show when you go to Canada.
Does it have your picture in it? I wonder if I could use that.
No, it just actually has. It actually has like
breweries
or stamps of breweries, and you get it stamped when you go in there. It's actually kind of cool. It's a little bigger than passport, so the customs guys don't get fooled.
I have a passport, dick.
I like that you also sent this to me in like a $10 fucking package. I don't know if you should be in charge of our mailing system anymore. How do you spend fucking $10 on a cardboard box? It's
not $10.
Fucking envelope.
It wasn't $10.
It said $8.95 on the package.
Is that $10?
Good math, right? Anyway, hot passport holders. If you get this, or you can get it on the phone for you digital millennials, but this is fun to hold. They stamp it. It's cool, like a regular passport. See how good this is going, Race? Imagine if you had this for the last 2 weeks. We probably would be fucking rich by now. Passport holders like me holding it now get 50% off their first 2 drinks at 50 plus breweries in the Northeast. 7 of those included in New Hampshire, probably more now at this point. They're all in here. See, Ray? Including White Birch, our favorite out of Nashua. Address, please, Raymond.
460 Amherst Street.
In Nashua, New Hampshire. This little puppy is $25. You get your first 2 beers free at every one of these breweries that you go to within a year. So essentially, pick 6 of these pages, you make your money back in 12 months. That's an absolute fucking no-brainer. And it gets better. Go to joinhotpassport.com/shop. Enter the word simple, SIMPLE, like Simple Minds. Get $5 off, so you're making money on a 6-pack. No-brainer. Absolute no-brainer up and down the East Coast. This is the New York one. That's the one you want to get if you go on the website. Joinhoppassport.com/shop. Enter simple, $5 off. Hot Passport. Speaking of passports, the Celtics are passporting their way through the West right now. Killing the fucking transitions tonight.
I don't think that was good.
Celtics play the Blazers last night as this is released. Did they win or lose, boys?
Game time.
Lost.
Yep, lost. 16-11 at home for the Blazers. It's a tough test tonight.
Cantor's playing great. He had, a 30-rebound game last
24, 20, and...
He had a 30.
No, he had 30.
He had 30. He was the
30.
first one since, Howard or Drummond in, almost 10 years. 30 rebounds. Something like that.
Kevin Love had one at some point. But yeah, Ennis Cantor, whatever. But yeah,
where the fuck was this last year, Cantor?
Cantor was good last year. We're
not 30 rebounds a game, good.
Because Brad didn't want to work him into
Brad didn't play him because he doesn't shoot threes. Anyway, the question is, can the Celtics have been playing well? They got, the 53 piece out of Tatum to beat the Timberwolves, which a lot of people weren't giving them credit for. I told you should. The Timberwolves are better than their record. But then the Denver game, a lot of people are giving for the best win of their season. And it might have been, they might have killed the Denver Nuggets.
You just lost Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray blew
Jamal
his
Murray's
ACL.
knee is dead. Yeah.
So,
dude, that sucks, man. For these young
it does
guys,
suck.
Like,
I was
so
actually
many injuries.
sad
I was
about
like,
that.
dude, I saw it last night.
You were sad about that, but not Edelman?
I was sad about Edelman, but we saw it coming.
That's how my heart works, you bitch. Look at me.
It sucks. He's a superstar, turning into a superstar in this league, and he's fucking. It sucks. These young guys.
Not anymore.
Look at Derrick Rose. He's a prime example. One
Wrap it up, bitch. Get it out there.
Yeah. Fucking
Jesus.
put some wood between it and you're fine. Jesus Christ.
Put some wood between it.
Like,
That's
make a
new
knee
one.
brace. Make
The guy that couldn't
Like
even
a
make it in
splint?
the Navy's trying to tell these guys how to stay healthy to make it in the basketball court. Fuck off, Ray.
Ray duct tape popsicle sticks around his knee when he went for his physical at the Navy. Hey, buddy, the 210 room is down the hall.
Were you there?
You look like you should clean some toilets. You should go into our plumbing program.
Not all of us can get a monkey like you do, Bill, with Lou.
Hey, the question here is, can the Celtics keep it up? We've said this all season long. If they go and lose to the Blazers tonight and they lose in good fashion, I'm fine. Like, if you lose to good teams, well, now at this point, that's the standard the Celtics have set. I'm good with it. And if Jason Tatum continues to play that way that he's played, if you go to simplemindsportshow.com, there's a nice blog on there. Has Jason Tatum flipped the switch? I don't know. He might have.
Bill read
it. Jared Wise.
I hate the Celtics.
Jared Wise on the Athletic wrote, Bill, you would never read this. He wrote at least 1,500 words, all like technical basketball words with videos, and like it's like a scouting report of how Jason Tatum has changed his game specifically.
I couldn't finish this for too long.
Specifically with the pick and roll. And I got through half, and I like that talk, and I only got through half of it. But the bigger point here, and I'll let you go about the Celtics here, but I think Jason Tatum has changed his game a little bit. He's getting to the line. I don't know if that's just a natural progression of understanding how to play in the NBA, or if he's decided to give a fuck. Either way, as long as he continues to do it, then I can snip, snap, and fall back on the hate train of Jason Tatum this year, which he's earned, by the way.
Where are you at right now? You riding the fence like Bill does? So you can go either way?
I'm out on Tatum this year.
So here we go. So Bill was before. He was a superstar before. Now he's back.
Here's my take on Tatum. It's another blog on the website. I don't think Jason Tatum will ever win a championship with the Boston Celtics. That's not because he's not good enough, and that's not because he's an asshole. It's just the way the NBA works. I don't think that he will develop his game fast enough and be patient enough with the Boston Celtics before he forces his way out of town to go win with some of his buddies. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Look
really,
at Minnesota with Carl.
The Warriors.
Towns. The Warriors are the only one. They drafted Green. They drafted Draymond, Clay, and then fucking Curry. And they had Harrison Barnes there. And then they let those guys develop, and then they made their trades.
Yep.
Andrew Bogut they brought in. All these guys they brought in, and then fucking boom.
Also, no superstars won a title until they were 27 years of old. LeBron, 27. Kobe was 31 when he did it without Shaq. 28 for Jordan, I believe. So, I mean, he's got 4 more years to go, 5 more years.
They got a ways to go. If one organization could do it, I do give the Celtics credit. I've been less hard on Danny Ainge this year as you guys have been, but it's just a rare thing to happen. And if you look at the Warriors, Steph went to Davidson, Clay went to Washington State, Draymond went to Michigan State. None of those guys are close to Dookies. So
Draymond was a second-round pick, dude. Don't forget that. He was
and Clay was lottery but late. Steph was pick number 6, I think.
I think they both. Yeah, Clay went 12.
Yeah, he was double
10.
digits.
He was like 9 or not between 9 and 12. I think he was right in there.
Either way, none of them were dealing with the egos that I think Jason Tatum deals with. But I've always thought that he was a little bit different until this year. And if he could finish the rest of this year playing like this and not being a whiny little bitch, then yeah, I'll new information, new opinion. I'll come back. I'll come back into the fold.
Pick 11, Klay Thompson.
2-2. All right. So they play at 10 p.m. on ESPN, so that probably means 10:20. Ray, you'll be sleeping. Bill, you don't watch the Celtics, so I'll keep my tabs on it. But should the 10 p.m. starts just be outlawed because the world runs on Eastern Coast Standard Time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And for every
ridiculous.
sporting event, this is stupid.
Baseball's the worst one.
Yeah.
If I want to watch this fucking Sox Angels game, I gotta stay up till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
The way they fucking play. Just outlaw this shit. How awesome would it be every single day? Fucking Red Sox game's on at 2 o'clock today. If I'm on
It's
the
amazing.
West Coast, getting 4 o'clock game right when I get out of work, I can listen to it all the way home from work. I can get home, you watch the end of the game, you eat dinner, boom, you're in. It's done.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. I don't understand why they got to bitch, especially games like these. These aren't primetime games.
Well, you know why? It's TV.
Yeah,
TV
well,
money.
fuck TV.
TV money talks,
Tonight's
baby.
on TNT. So, or last night was on TNT. But yeah, the West Coast. That's why people on the West Coast don't give a shit about sports because they don't get to watch them in prime time. But yeah, every Red Sox game should be at 2 p.m. on the weekday, just so you can have it on the background during work, because that's how long it takes to finish the game. It takes a full work day.
By the time you're doing dishes, by the time you're doing dishes, cleaning up,
it should just
game's
be in
over.
the background.
I can leave.
So
I can
in between
leave work.
emails, I can peek over and see one pitch, send an email. 30 minutes later, another pitch, send an email.
Still scratching his nuts.
That's
We'll wait for the third.
problem. I can leave work. The game can start. I can leave work, drive 3 hours home, and the game will be in the third inning.
You don't drive 3 hours home.
I've had quite a few 3-hour ride homes.
Depends on what job he's doing.
True.
All right, to finish the show, Ray. Many
No.
people were impressed with our greatest wrestlers of all time
I
show
was
Sunday.
impressed.
Sunday Social Hour has got a lot of views, a lot of hits, and actually you're doing it right now. I think it was our good friend Marty that said, "Put the mic directly in front of your face so we don't have to see you."
Yes.
Excellent job on that.
Thank you.
WrestleMania was this weekend. You have a couple blogs out on it.
I did.
I only got to one from the Grammar Guru, so that second one is fully unedited.
Perfect.
Those are the best you want to.
Those are the best. Those are the raw ones that you just go and go, what the hell is he saying?
Yeah, before editor in chief just goes shake. Jesus Christ, that Edelman blog took me 45 minutes to edit today.
I was drinking.
Did you
Anyway,
get through the cum and tears on it?
No.
it seeped through the screen from 250 miles away.
What the fuck is this?
Give us your final assessment on the 2-night WrestleMania
Okay.
show. What is it called? Just called WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 37.
I
Night
do
one.
poems. I don't do wrestling.
I
Go
know.
ahead.
Night one was good. Night two, meh. Night two should have been the one where all the big shit happened. It was just meh. It wasn't that good.
Stellar.
Fucking unbelievable.
Well, if you go to simplemindsports.com, you can read some blogs and
Not everybody likes to read, Ray.
well, some people can't read. And that's why I gave some crayons on the site so you can follow along.
Ever one to be short of words. The obvious one. First night was good. Second night was meh.
Meh.
Thanks.
Hey, why not?
This is in the Simple Mind Sports Show Wednesday edition, April 14th. We'll see you on Thursday for an interview with
Sal.
Good. See you then. Bye.
Oh, his last name's not on there. Salvatore, bye-bye. Well, he's joined the chat, so.
Fucking guy.
He's early.
Donald yelled at him.
This guy is not joined. This guy is not joined
On time.
on
I know our
either
first
late
question.
or on time once.
We're going to ask that. Are you ever late or early for practice?
Sal, do you have a watch?
Time Lord, how's your alarm work? Are you the D3 Time Lord?
Jesus, Sal. Whatever. Ray, so salty this morning, huh? You have a bad day? You have
Yeah.
bad mornings?
Who was that? Wasn't you asking for my gun yesterday? So I'm assuming he's at a bad.
Yeah, that was last night.
What happened? You need a therapy session? We're
Yeah.
good listeners.
Do you want me to turn the recorder off?
Oh, I have a story to tell you once the recording goes off.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Bye.
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 babies.